Hello, everyone. Welcome to Loud and Proud Orlando. It's Thursday City Pod tonight live. Thank you so much to the about 10 people watching us right now live. We are live on YouTube. Also, we're live on Instagram and we're also live on X. Thank you so much for your support. Today's pod is all about previewing Charlotte FC. Well, no, reviewing Charlotte FC, the win, the massive win we had at home, 2-0. A lot of momentum for the Lions, and also we're gonna check out OCB and also their great momentum that they're having at MLS Next Pro, and we're gonna check the MLS East table, and obviously we're gonna slay the dragon. We are days away from facing Columbus Crew. To me personally, I feel is the biggest test this team is going to have until playoffs. So stick around. Drop us your thumbs up if you're on YouTube. Comment. And John, how are you, my friend? This amazing win against Charlotte. How do you enjoy that one?
It was great, yeah. I had a great time on a Wednesday night. It was a late start, but great. I think it was. I don't. I think I said 2-0. I think I predicted that, so I got it bang on my prediction. And
Wow.
what a pair of goals they were. I mean, incredible. We'll talk more about those, but just great to see a great Wednesday night. And we were uh, you know, there's always the concerns. A lot of people in the fan base are always concerned about what happens when we play better teams. Now, Charlotte was a step up from what we played recently, and so we held that test and we did really well. And now we got an even bigger test on Saturday against one of the best teams in the league. So let's see if we can step it up again.
For sure. I wanted to go ahead and read some comments real quick from the get-go. Victor Sanchez has 3 effing points. Thank you so much, Victor. Appreciate it for that. I know. I know if Orlando wins and beats Columbus, there's definitely going to be a lot of hype of this particular team. Coming from starting in shaky ground to obviously blossoming into this beautiful form and formation that we currently have right now. But we're gonna dive into previewing the game we're reviewing the game against Charlotte. We have the footage right here for you. Let's go ahead and start with this real quick. Let's play the tape. If you're listening, thank you so much for listening. We're gonna try our best to narrate what we're looking at. When they want to be, but I'm looking at the 9 spot. So same formation, 4-2-3-1, with Ojeda as your number 10. Another phenomenal performance by Martin Ojeda, John. Another outstanding performance by Facu Torres and Ivan Angulo. What were your thoughts from the start, from this lineup?
I think we heard last game about the fact that Bracalo got a little injury in training, so that was why he was out for the last game. So that clearly, like, it's still affecting him, or has tied it over, or Oscar just is still backing Schlegel in that position. That's the only one I thought maybe Bracalo would get back in. The rest, I think, is our starting 11 now. Santos has done well to kind of reinstate himself as the permanent kind of left back, a real true left back in this squad at the moment. And the rest, it picks itself at this point, Duncan Enrique is the other one, but I think the benefits of Duncan off the bench are great. And I think Enrique is still doing really well. So I got no problem with Enrique starting still.
Yeah, I think the change of putting Maguire in the second half, and again, I'm going to say this, not only a lot of people say it was, we're possessing the ball with a purpose, which we'll discuss in just a moment, but I feel the changes they made an immediate impact. And I think when you have changes that make an immediate impact, it could definitely close the game out. And that's exactly what Oscar did. Usually we will see, us winning 1-0 and then do what they call a Pappy special. But in this case, we're seeing us actually capitalizing on chances and closing games down and putting a goal up, which if the first goal demoralized Charlotte, the second goal, it retired another UN's men's national team player, Tim Ream. It was an amazing goal by Duncan with the celebration. But overall, I felt like this was, to me, offensive wise, a I will say 8 out of 10 performance. There still were some plays that they still kind of look like they're wasting some chances, but overall I feel like this was fantastic. So let's look at Charlotte.
I like the before we start, Luis, what you're saying about subs. I like the fact that we're this pattern of bringing on Ojeda and Duncan. Well, Duncan was even earlier this game, but around about the 60th minute now, Oscar is looking to use his alternative attacking options. Whereas, like you said before, a lot of the time I don't know if that's because we have more attacking options now, but Nico coming on at 60 for Ojeda, I think is a really good option. That's great. The Duncan Enrique switch that is going to happen, whoever starts, a lot of that is really good. And even we're seeing some of the other players like Facu comes off and Angulo comes off now for guys we got Petrasa that came on the left wing for this one to do kind of a defensive winger role. But we could bring on Cicada there. We could bring on a bunch of guys. And Oscar is more and more willing to make attacking subs, even when we're just 1 or 2 up, instead of going for those defensive subs all the time like we used to see.
Yeah, for sure. I also want to say another phenomenal game by Dagger Dan Thorhalson. I think he was a silent. He needs to have some kudos set to him, but we'll discuss it in just a moment. Let's continue with the tape right here. Thank you so much to everybody that's listening or watching.
Since 2009, without a double-digit goal score, Enrique gets the nod with 4. It's a pair of DPs that drop to the bench.
Now, Charlotte, from the start, I kind of mentioned previewing this game that Bronico was going to be somebody that was going to be pretty bothersome for the Lions. He did it before. I think his best games are against Orlando. I felt, and by also listening to Facu's footage for the post-press conference, they really studied this team, and Bronico had no chance. If anything, Bronico and Kerwin Vargas got very frustrated with them losing the ball in transition all the time. And Aguiman, what are your thoughts about Aguiman? I mean, I thought Aguiman was Diani at first. I was confused. I didn't know if Diani was Aguiman or Aguiman was Diani. But I was like, yo, how is this guy a 6, man? He's so tall. He's like a center back.
Yeah, they got a lot of height in their team throughout the front and the midfield, and then Malanda in the back row and Tim Ream in the back row as well. So they're a very big team. But on Aguiman, it was so funny because he just fell so hard for the Schlegel dark arts, man. Schlegel from the first minute was in his head, and he went over to the ref. I don't know if you saw. I think it was 5 or 10 minutes in, but Aguiman went over to the ref. It's this guy is up my ass, and he's and then he goes over to Schlegel, don't do that anymore, and then walks away. And as soon as he does, Schlegel just comes, nudges him again in the back. It's you've started this now, and Schlegel will do that all day, and he plays that line pretty well. Sometimes he goes over it, but with Aguiman, he got in his head, and then the dude, and also not only that, but he did a really good job, Schlegel, of beating him. You'll see a lot to the ball. So often they play that big ball into Aguiman. He's trying to get on it, and Schlegel would just get in front of him and head it away before he had a chance to even get the ball. And it drove him crazy. And like you said, Vargas and Bronico, you could tell they were getting frustrated, Charlotte, with their lack of attacking opportunities.
Now, they had also Pep Biel, which I did see play with Olympiacos. I think it was last season, and honestly, it was just to me personally in the beginning. He was kind of trying to see where he can sneak in to maybe beat our back line and go in front of our back line. He had no chance, man. I mean, he was shut down by Dagger. He was shut down also by our what's his name, Santos as well. So because he kept switching with Kerwin to see where they could actually go and attack. Very savvy by Orlando's backline today. Yesterday against Charlotte FC. Let's continue watching.
Mentioned Liel Abada and Karol Swiderski. Patrick Agyemang and Brant Bronico come in for that new front line of Vargas and Biel and Swiderski and Abada. Charlotte went for it in the summer.
Real quick, was there a 3D line? No 3D line.
The 3D line is gone, Luis.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know. I don't know if
I think they watched.
we have
watched the
serious
last
power.
episode.
I doubt. No, I don't think. I just think honestly, the 3D line came up for that one game out of nowhere because I haven't been there in a long time. I swear.
Yeah, in a long time.
And
yeah.
it was just there for what game was it? I'm blanking. Who did we play before this at home on Saturday?
New England.
New England. It was there for the New England game, and then it wasn't there for Charlotte. So I'm like, yo, did they just like forget? Is there like a lion button and somebody lent on the lion button? Like what's going on? Did we just because it was Latina night? Did they put the lion up for Latina? Like what? What does that mean? Like I don't understand.
What was a spicy lion?
I don't know, bro, but
A salsa. They should have done a salsa dance.
Yeah, it was the lion was gone. So yeah, well observed.
But there you go.
The roar is always there, but the graphic was gone.
Now, Team Ream, to me, he was by himself in that back line. If it wasn't for Team Ream, I feel the Lions would have had at least 2 more goals. I don't know. What are your thoughts regarding Team Ream, real quick?
I think he had some good moments, but then he did not have some other good moments as evidence. So I think Tim Ream's just getting a bit slower, man. Honestly, I think he's losing a little bit of pace, and I think coming to MLS was part of like he's starting to get beat a bit in the Premier League last year. And Fulham were like, I think it's time. And he's come to MLS being like, this will be better. And it might not be because it's still speedy. It's still fast. It's still very physical.
Fast. Yes,
as Duncan showed him.
Correct.
He Michael Bradley him. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
But yeah, Tim Ream, and I did say that on the show. I was like, it's not quite. And he hasn't been. Like they signed him to be a star center back, and he hasn't been. He's been good, but he hasn't been like wow, like oh look, this guy's one of the best center backs in the league. Having come from the Prem, it kind of shows that maybe he's not quite up there at the moment.
Yeah, I still feel we need at least I feel we need a profile center back for the Lions, but we'll discuss that later.
To him on halfway.
Now that right there. Tim Ream kind of closes the space for Cartagena to shoot, and Kalina is not a bad keeper. And
beaten away there by Kalina, but still on. Shouts are handball, and it's indeed given.
They tried to say it was a handball, but he was already off target. That was our first pretty big threat. Feel bad for Cartagena because he really deserves to score a banger again. So we'll see. I have says here, great win at home, says Anthony Solis. Victor Sanchez, Muriel assist last night for the second goal. Correct. We'll talk in just a minute. JCB's 95. Buenas noches, everyone. Great win at home. I wasn't able to make it to the game, but was cheering from home. I hope we see more of the Lion. My kids had a blast with it. There you go. We should have a Latina night. We should have Kingston doing some bachata, it is possible. It would be hilarious. There you go. Let's watch it. Orlando is like that cross from Santos, and then Facu came right behind Team Ream, and his header went wide. And I feel like Orlando City. I don't know if you felt not only their possession was on point, and they pretty much even like you see in this play. Jansen was pretty much almost in the passing he was so forward, everyone will attack together and retreat together, it seemed, right? Which is, it's been working perfectly for them currently. Do you feel now that based on the result, we're doing, our possession means something now, because before we saw Orlando having maybe, what, like, I mean, let me exaggerate, like, 60% possession, right? And 0 goals, right? So I feel like they're using now their possession, and it means something now. Like, it actually creates a threat. I don't know if you feel the same way there, John.
Yeah, no, I think we're getting better at being, clinical, and we're creating a lot of chances, and we're creating a lot of good quality chances. We should take more. I think we should score more goals than we do still. But especially in this game, like the 2 goals that we created were really top quality goals, and that's just starting to show in the way that we play. And I think the key being a lot of the time having Ojeda in that 10 position, drifting from the 10 wide to the half spaces to kind of create things and play off of Facu and Enrique and Angulo. We need that, and that's kind of how the first goal comes about.
For sure.
A lot of the game played in this half of the field as Santos delivers. Enrique Torres goes over.
I think this was one of the few chances Charlotte had.
Pep Biel into a good space here for
Aguiman tries to do the Ronaldo thing.
Decision B, cuts inside Aguiman.
See, if you go back a little bit, Luis, I would say I think Jansen didn't have a great game. I think there was some moments where he looked a little slow and a little off the pace, and I believe this is one of them.
I agree.
Where he gets beat over the top, or just Aguiman goes past him really easily, I think, in this scenario.
Yeah, he's
I remember he comes out or does a header, I think. Yeah, he does the header and he just lands straight to Aguiman, and now he's way out of position. Like, this is him on the, like, he's supposed to be. And of course we cover and everything, but I think he's also, if you think about how many games Jansen's played, and this is a Wednesday game after a Saturday, so he's probably just a bit tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, he at times looked a little bit off the pace in this one.
Well, we need the best version of Robin Jansen on Saturday. I mean, it's but we can't not play him. Plus, also, I'm gonna say it. Hope I don't get in trouble, but he has a business like sponsoring him, like to do a clinic for defending, like a soccer clinic.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's cool.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, your students are gonna watch the film, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no.
I'm just saying.
They're happy to learn from Coach Jansen. They don't care if he gets.
I mean, that was it looks like they're training these type of plays, because they kind of already knew where each one was going to be in this transition play. And unfortunately, it just became a scramble at the box. What are your thoughts regarding this play from Orlando?
Yeah, it was pretty rough. I understand, like, there's so many bodies in the box there, but sometimes we do too many of those passes. We saw that a lot earlier in the year, and there's a little bit of that going on here where they're already in the box and they're still trying to pass it to another guy. They just need to turn and shoot at a certain point, and that's what happens. I think Ojeda comes in and just tries to smack it. Like, sometimes when there's a crowd of bodies like that and you might not have a perfect shot, like, that's just the best option, is to try and smack it in there and see, like, does it deflect off them? Does it go out for a corner? Whatever. It's not always, sometimes trying to do the tiki-taka around a guy in the box is kind of overkill. And by that time the keeper comes out and we're in a bit of a mess. So I would like to see us try and shoot a little bit earlier in some scenarios like this.
Yeah, same here. I agree on that. And here is the play. I love the fact that Orlando is very well positioned here. Angulo, I think I saw the stats in the first half. Orlando attack through the left flank over 55%. Only, I think, 18 or 19% on the first half was on the right flank, which it tells you the level, like when Angulo's having a good game, and has that self-confidence to take on players, that's what could happen. And then this happened right here.
Respectfully, given how late some of the calls were in the first half, he's lucky.
Ojeda towards the byline.
For starters, what are your thoughts about the goal?
I mean, a great goal. Like what's not to love about that? I mean, the good ball by Rafa down the left there, and like I said, Ojeda taking that run from the center attacking mid out to the half space on the wing, and then a great ball. And it made me chuckle because it's just like that other goal where Facu hit it on the volley and Angulo's like standing right next to him. It's just the same scenario where Angulo, like, he follows up his pass and he's like going in there, but Facu also knows it's gelling, right, Luis? That's good gelling there. They both know if they go back
Good
post,
gel.
that Ojeda he's gonna whip it on the left foot to the back post, and that's the kind of connection, that the partnership that they built up, and that only has come with all of this time with Ojeda being in the starting 11 all the time. That now, like, him and Facu are linking up like this. I mean, how many Ojeda to Facu assists can you name, Luis?
Well, I mean,
most of the time it was like Facu come off, Ojeda go on. They weren't
Yeah.
even on the same field
Yeah,
together.
correct. And that's the really, I mean, not a lot of people are not going to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff, but I think it is the coaching staff, putting everything on Martin and kind of talking to him and say, hey, man, look, we don't want to we don't want to take you out. We want you to be part of the starting lineup, but you have to deliver. And I think his work ethic to becoming better, and he's honed that 10 position now that honestly, like, I feel personally confident that when he's in the starting lineup, things like this are going to happen. Now, mind you, Charlotte's backline was completely out of whack in this goal. Now, but in the MLS, this happens often. Now, the cool thing about this is Facu's making the most out of his chances. Before, it was passing it back. Remember that, Facu? Hey, I just grabbed this volley. Hey, hold on, I'm just gonna pass it back. And so now he has the confidence, not only the accuracy of Martin Ojeda's cross, but but also Facu with the confidence of getting the ball in midair and doing the volley with the left foot, right? And it's a great momentum of Facu Torres. And I wanted to ask him this, but then I kind of felt like saying, look, I don't want to ruin his moment. But I truly wanted to ask him in the post-press conference. What I really wanted to ask him was, how do you feel after Bielsa put you in for Uruguay for 15 freaking minutes, which is an insult for any soccer player? Your coach brings you in and then takes you out 10 minutes later. And you're having now, how do you do it? How do you mentally manage that to now have this momentum? Just scratch that completely. And, because for any other player, I feel like it will be a bummer. Like, I'm like, yo, like my national team coach, like, pretty much just told me subtly that I suck, and he's taking that and he's using it as fuel to prove everyone wrong. I feel like, and I think he's having a phenomenal momentum right now. And I'm so proud of him, definitely being the DP that everyone wanted to see. So I'm happy for Facundo, and I think we need to still see this Facundo Torres against Columbus. I have some comments here. It says, Matthew Mosquera says, very excited to see the team up there with a big 3 in the East this year. I will turn completely delusional if we get a result at Columbus. Eric Vega, I think Orlando can beat Columbus if we are in the right mindset and strong on the defensive. There you go. You're completely right. Guilla Carlos, they've been trying to get that volley for the past 5 games and finally got it. Anthony Solis, it's nice to see 2 DPs working together. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we have I think we should talk about that too. We have the roster. We're going to do that probably at the end. But yeah, great goal by Facu.
And then they did the
sensational form in this.
the selfie celebration, you know, the Faku.
Yeah, the little. Now, Urso was there was people chanting his name, people applauding him. What'd you thought about that? Forever a Lion.
I really like that, man. That was really
Yeah.
nice.
It's
Nice
very classy
moment.
for Orlando.
Yeah, I think we know we
Very
are
classy,
classy
yeah.
like that. We respect the guys that, now did Chris Mueller get a clap like that when he came back? No. And he'll never get that ever.
No, he did
But
not.
if you are a servant of our club and like Urso was, and you leave in good graces, you come back, that's always gonna happen. The man helped us lift a trophy. Like
Yep, that's right.
he's forever a Lion. He's up there with one of my favorite midfielders we've ever had. So
For sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know why he's on the bench for.
For
I'd put him on instead of Westwood. I think Westwood's a waste of space.
me too. I think Westwood.
I think they
he's
got
such a.
Yeah, I think right now, if I was them, Santos is what you need. And he came on and looked more effective than Diani and Westwood, really, at times. So, maybe he's just getting older, and it's not got as many legs. He's 34 now?
Well,
35?
but man, I'm telling you, Diani. I mean, what kind of It's like
You don't like this guy at all.
no, man. He's just a man for the you gotta be a center back, like be a goalkeeper, bro. Like, why are you a 6? Like, you're too tall, man. Like,
did you hear the Junior Urso chant? They did the Junior Urso from the wall.
Awesome.
So that's nice, man. I think
that's amazing.
Him at the end of the
game,
game.
but it's just
hopefully they didn't cut it.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Let me hear. Whatever. It's intelligence. He's got the intelligence, and it was a very well executed pass. But then Dunk, it's like that was just written for him. That ball, he comes onto it, and by that point, Tim Ream's already behind him. Like he's already gone past Tim Ream just with how good the ball is, and he's already making the run. And then he just a beautiful chip shot finish. I mean, there's not a lot of strikers, Luis, that can just pull that off. Like how many times you see guys do that and then it'll just go over and you're like a complete moron. So the chip shot finish should not be underestimated as how difficult it is to pull that off in such a short space of, he hasn't got a lot of distance to get up and over the keeper. So it was an incredible shot. And then Luis, he does the celly. So, what else did you ask for? From assist to goal to celebration, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously the pass, Muriel making a difference with the exceptional assist on the Maguire goal. Honestly, I feel like he had a really good game when he came in. I think he made an immediate impact. He had limited time on the pitch, but I felt like Charlotte just let him play. He only made, I think, 8 or 9 passes that whole period he was in. He completed all of them. He didn't miss one single one. Even though he played only 17 minutes, he looked honestly the most comfortable I've seen him since he started with the Lions. So if you take that version of Muriel onto playoffs, I feel like we have a very good mid at / attacker. But if he's going to be doing this to Maguire and setting Maguire, Ramiro for this type of situations, I think this is fantastic, especially coming to close out a game. This is huge because it's definitely going to make a difference. And to say about Maguire, I mean, you could say that, we gave him, we are LPO is his lucky charm,
How do I know you're going to say that, Luis?
He was, right? He was on a drought when he came in. Then and then he came in, and now he's 2 out of 2, man. Can't stop.
Not only that, he did the Holland.
Correct. Yeah. I have the actual picture. Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. But yeah, he did the Holland, man. He promised it on the pod. He said, yeah, maybe I'll get to do it. Maybe I'll get to do it, and yeah, right here.
There he is. I love
There he
it.
is. That's
It's,
amazing.
it's primo stuff. I think it's
That's
I love it. I just
now.
give me more. Inject it in my veins. So
Right,
more of
right.
this. More
So
of
so
this.
look, Duncan, it's a phenomenal player. Honestly, the way, I mean, I just feel like he's like, he's like Randy Orton. Randy Orton was known as the legend killer. Duncan is the U.S. men's national team, killer, man. He just, first it was Bradley with that phenomenal goal. Michael Bradley, bye bye to his career. And now, he made Tim Ream looked. I mean, because it was definitely Tim Ream. I mean, he was just too slow, and just
There's no point in looking back right now. Like, let's review it at the end of the year for sure.
right,
But right
no, for
now,
sure.
the team is playing well. We're in a good position. We're gonna go into playoffs. I just hope that we stay hot. Like last
Correct.
year, the last few games before the playoffs, we lost some momentum. And we just went into those games. We kind of got past Nashville, but we just didn't have the same momentum like we have now. So the challenge, and I think this is really where Oscar needs to do something that he hasn't done in a while, and continue our our streak, because like you said, Luis, it's going to go into the MLS playoffs, which is its own thing. It's a cup, whatever, but how do we transition from the league to that MLS playoffs? Like, are we going to be able to stay hot that long and not have a drop off period? That's the real question for me. And if we can keep staying hot and we can keep doing what we're doing, then I'd say we're up there for anybody right now. To as long as we can show on Saturday that we can beat a team like Columbus. If we do, then that shows, okay, we're ready. We're gonna be able to compete with the best of them this year, and then who knows? It's anybody's game in the cup.
A lot of, I totally agree with you on that. I just also feel that they are riding this. It's been tough for this team, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Consistency, right? We go into these hot streaks, and it has happened too that we, I think, won in the middle of the season, like three games back to back, and then kind of like then we took a little dive, and then people are starting again, calling out for, let's fire, let's fire Lewis, let's fire John, let's fire communications, let's fire the guy at the parking lot, everyone go pitchforks, and again we go back into that, and then and I agree with you. I think this team is gonna definitely say, yeah, we're a contender, and I think fans are gonna realize, oh yeah, this is serious now, when they start seeing what you're saying. Like, if we beat Columbus and we are able to maintain this hot form, I think that's when fans are gonna say, oh, okay. Even the doubters are gonna start saying, oh, I love Oscar. He's my best friend. I hug him like if it was Mickey Mouse at the park. You know what I mean? And it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen, and I'm glad that the because that's what we need to see, consistency. Like, what does it matter going hot, this much, and then first game of the playoffs, and then it's done. So. I totally agree with you on there, and I agree with a lot of fans too that show that definitely that concern. Yeah, phenomenal game by Orlando City. Definitely turned the tide completely. A little bit of some data. Facu Torres scored his 16th goal in 2024 across all competitions. 43rd career goal with the Lions, is one goal shy of tying Kyle Aaron for most all-time clubbing in club history. One goal away, and we say bye-bye to Kyle Aaron on that record. A little sad, but it's okay. Also, Duncan Maguire scored his 10th goal across all competitions. Maguire is now 4th all-time in goals in club history, tying club legend Kaká. It's another good thing. Also, Pedro Galese, first assist, apparently with a secondary assist to Maguire's goal. Pedro Galese earned his first assist with Orlando City. It's the second goalkeeper assist in club history after Mason Staduhar provided the helper on Maguire's finish against Toronto FC on Decision Day of 2023, which was the goal against Bradley. You know, Martin Ojeda, 11th assist. Ivan Angulo, 8th assist. So fantastic game by the Lions. Hopefully this can be copy paste and we can translate that and become road warriors again, and start getting some points away. They have a good chance now. Now we do you want to do OCB or want to go dive into Columbus? What would you like to do?
You read some comments and then we'll do it.
Okay. It says Orlando runs on Duncan, but Duncan runs on LPO. There you go. Randy Orton, handshake Maguire. There you go. I'm telling you, yep. Just remember, Lewis, they even tried to pitchfork against Jesus once upon a time. There you go. Thank you, Stream Jesus, for reminding me. This says Anthony Solis. The priorities from now till the end of the season should be to maintain this form, avoid dumb cards, and keeping players healthy. There you go. Yeah, totally agree. And Oscar said it. That's been their biggest challenge. It's definitely that. Now, I was hoping that to see Heine. I was waiting for Heine, to come in, but it's okay. We got the win, so we'll see Heine another time. John, you wanted to talk some OCB?
Sure, yeah. Let's just do a quick check-in on OCB. They've been doing very well recently. Here is a few of their highlights from their last game. Just wanted to show you the lineup. So we got Jack Lynn's back in there at the moment. Cicadas literally played the Revs and then played the Revs again. Freeman, Petrasso. These are kind of mainstays. Kaczewski in there. We really put in those players that are in between. I'd say like they're not quite full first teamers, but they're top level at OCB, and that's helping them go up the table and pull out some good performances. There's a really good goal in here, a couple of really good goals actually. So
look, this is a team. I mean, it is the reserves, but I mean, it's pretty much a first team. Like a lot of pieces are first team pieces.
Yeah. Alrighty.
The header is just a whisker wide of the target. Touch up ahead. Muhammad stayed on side. Muhammad plays it down the line. Lynn's in the middle. Chance to maybe cross or shoot, and the opening goal arrives.
Shaq Mo just running the whole way down the field and slips it in on a crazy angle. You're watching. Sorry, go ahead, Luis.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was a great goal here. So let's watch it again.
What a finish! Alex
Jack Lynn falls. I don't know what happened to Jack Lynn. He got knocked over or something. But Shaq's like on the right foot, comes right down the line, and then puts it in the left foot. So a great goal there by Shaq. And then there was one later on as well. What minute was that in? Let's see. It was the 61st.
Who's the narrator of this game?
I don't know. I think it's what it is the MLS Next Pro. They have guys like in one location doing like multiple games like at a night. And they're not there. They're just remote watching.
So it's like work from home. So it's like work from home.
Yeah, like that's something I know USL do that. Like I know Jamie Watson, for example, does a bunch of games at once at a time in a booth for USL. So he'll like do like commentary on this game and another game. So a lot of them are doing this now where they don't, for the smaller games, they don't want to, I guess it's travel expenses or whatever. So they're having them cover. I imagine that's what's going on here. Maybe he went to the game, but I think MLS Next Pro has a roster of commentators and then they just use them in different matches.
Fantastic.
Let's see the Jack Lynn goal.
That defensive sequence. This ball is played up ahead.
You were talking about Kaczewski's passing range, Luis?
Yeah.
Look at this one.
Orlando handles that defensive sequence. This ball is played.
Is that Luis Muriel or Kaczewski? I can't tell.
That is Yeah,
There's a lot of
he
similarities between this
looks
goal
very
and
Colombian to me.
yeah. Jack Lynn's bearing down on goal now.
Right up ahead, and Jack Lynn's in behind. Big chance. He
Ah.
scores.
Jack Lynn, king of MLS Next Pro.
Yeah.
You know, just slots it home, no problem. So, some great things here going for the team at the moment. They're looking a lot better than they were
Look at that.
earlier in the year. They're all the way up to third.
Top 3, man.
Yeah,
Man, we're on the up and up. Orlando is on the up and up, man. OCB, Pride, Orlando City.
yeah, it's a great achievement, and you know, they're up there with Cincy and Union and Miami, like, who have all got really good academies. So, you know, Columbus too has got a great academy. We're in where I think we should be as an MLS Next Pro team coming on the end of the season. So hopefully they can finish strong. Let's see who they are playing next, Luis. They've got Chicago Fire. I think it's tonight. No. Sorry, on Monday night. That's what I was
Monday night.
thinking.
Yeah,
It's Monday Night Football. So I think it's the last home game of the season, I believe.
Oh wow.
So if you want to see OCB, if you haven't checked it out yet, OCB's last home game of the season is Monday night. So Luis, we'll be doing the pod, but maybe I can go down. Maybe I'll do a live. I'll do the pod from the OCB game. Maybe we'll do something like that. That would be cool.
Yeah. We have John right here.
Yeah, I'll do a live hit from the OCB game.
You'll be like the British Al Roker.
Reporter in the field, John at the OCB game. You're welcome. Yeah, so OCB doing a lot better, and you know, shout out to all the players there, and a lot of them that I hope we're gonna see in the playoffs. You know, like Sakata. Hopefully, we're gonna see him in the playoff. I would love to see Shaq get some time, like Dagger. You know, came off in the last game, and we brought on Kyle Smith, but we could have brought on Alex Freeman. I think Oscar with the defenders is less likely to give them chances in the play, like as we get closer into the season. But the attackers, like I would like to still see some minutes, like Petrasso, etc. So, love the OCB are doing well, and just want to give them 5 minutes, Luis, because they deserve it, and they've had a good end of the season here.
No, yeah, I mean, I think it's phenomenal for OCB to be in this level. So. You know, and also, you know, we would love to, you know, have more coverage for OCB, that's for sure, and be able to maybe go to most of the games. And it's just a little complicated, at least for me it is, just already covering Pride and City. So if anyone that's watching that likes to go to these games, would like to, you know, be like somebody that could join us to cover OCB, you know, hey, just DM us, and then we'll definitely talk to you, because next year we definitely would like to at least go to most games of the season for OCB. So it'll be great.
After a Friday Pride and a Saturday City, I don't have the energy to go to a Sunday OCB game, and that's just, I got to put limits somewhere, you know. So I think we would love to have somebody that could help us cover them, because I think it would be cool, Luis, right? I think it would be awesome. So anybody who is interested in covering OCB and working with us, we'd love to hear from you.
Or Pride also, because you know, I mean, this year, I think this year I've covered most of the Pride games, but in the beginning of the season, I wasn't planning of covering most Pride games. I was like, you know, hey, I'll probably go to.
But that's before we became really, really, really
obviously, good. You know, we're waking. The Kraken was awakened.
Oh, the sleeping giant has arisen.
The Kraken was awakened. So
yeah,
it's great.
Louis,
we have some comments here.
Oh yeah, two comments.
Yeah, real quick. This is the priority. Yeah, we already saw that. Look, the projection of Sakata says, Ari KJ. Thank you so much.
Sakata, we love it.
MLS stable. Yep.
So obviously we talked about what could happen if we got the win against Charlotte, and that had happened. So that's wonderful. Yep. Like New York Red Bulls didn't play, obviously. So now we're level on 29 points, but we have a better goal difference. So we're up there above them. I believe. No, we don't. Yeah, we do have a better goal difference. What am I talking about? So I guess it's on head to head there, Luis. That's weird, but we're above them. I forget why they do that, but we're there. New York City lost, so they did not go anywhere. Obviously, Charlotte's who we're playing, so we're starting to put a little bit of space here between us and them, but there is a big old gap between us and our next opponents. Yeah, we're 10 points off Columbus, so obviously Saturday, taking, if we manage to get a win there, then that would be a big step forward and closing the gap between them. But I think we should just focus on maintaining fourth for the rest of the year. I think is a good objective. It might be a bridge too far to chase Columbus at this point in the season with that big a gap. But we need to try and put some distance between us and Red Bulls and us in New York City, because that the advantage of having the 2 home games is massive. So
yeah, and home field advantage too. If Orlando remains fourth, they get home field advantage for their playoff game, which would be against, right now, we look at the standings, it'll be Philly. If the MLS will end today, Orlando City will play against Philly, which has me a little. I mean, I respect Philly a lot. I know that they're on the downs, but
well, not now, bro. I mean, they're on the way up now.
I know, but they were on the downs.
Oh yeah.
No, but you don't want to you never want to take Philly lightly.
No, they're back with a vengeance, and that home game is going to be rough. It's going to be hard. They're like fighting for every point to get in the playoffs. We're fighting to stay in fourth. So, we have a comment here from Ari KJ, who says next 2 home games will be hard to watch. I think next 2 home games are Philly and Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta.
No, I think this is the next 2 games for us.
Oh,
so
sorry.
Columbus and Dallas.
Columbus and Dallas. Columbus, yes, tough to watch. Dallas should be a bit easier. Dallas are not as good this year. Home against Philly, tough. Away at Cincy, tough. And home against Atlanta at the end of the season could be tough, depending on what they're doing, or could be an easier game. I don't think they're fighting, but they're not out of playoffs yet. So it's not an easy end to the season, Luis. But we're going into it like we talked about. I think about a month ago, we said, what if we go on a run and we play well, we keep doing, building up to this Columbus game. So we're in a really good position now going into a tough run of games, but we just have to step it up even more and keep that good momentum going. We don't want to be, losing to Columbus and Dallas, and then we're back at home against Philly, and they're, now we've got a target on our backs. So we want to maintain the protagonist, like Oscar always says, and we need to make sure that we're, even if we don't beat Columbus, if we come out of there with a respectable draw, or, at least having a good account of ourselves and keeping our positivity if we do lose and not getting completely trounced, then that's what we want to see, because we need to keep this momentum up.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can definitely steal some points out of Dallas. Now, I'm not going to take Dallas very lightly. I mean, they have Jesus Ferreira, and in their mid, they got Ilarramendi, who played in Real Sociedad in Spain back in the day, and Leggett. He's there too with Paul Arriola right there on the right wing. So Paul Arriola always try to have really good games against the Lions. So, but like you said, they're very experienced players right now. So I don't know. I feel like we have a little bit more of an edge than they are, and again, like you said, we need to maintain that momentum. It is a huge test for Oscar Pareja as and also the team to also everybody that remembers the past to shut up and just look forward. I think this is the testament that the players got to do to pretty much say, hey, We need everyone's support for the rest of the season and the playoffs coming up. And I think the turning point of the events are going to happen against Columbus. If the Lions get a draw or a win against Columbus, it's a massive result because they're the reigning champs. And even Dagger Dan said he enjoyed watching. He actually said, the other team I do follow from the MLS is Columbus because I love the way they play. They're fun to watch. They play a similar style like we do. So I enjoy watching Columbus. So,
and also it's like MLS playoffs last year. We just, we were hot, and it's a similar scenario right now. They're a big team. We're in good form. We need to give a better account of ourselves than we did in that playoff match. Let's try and redeem ourselves against Columbus with a good result here. That would be nice. Let's read a few more comments, Luis. Anthony Solis says, I think the tiebreaker goals is goals scored. MLS does it differently for Nerds. Yes, that's what it is. It's goals scored. You are correct. I forgot which one they used. Ari KJ says the ideal scenario will have to be a draw 0-0 against Columbus, and then 2 New York teams the same, so we keep the positions. Yeah, I mean, I think a draw against Columbus is great. Obviously, we want the New York teams to not gain any position. The New York City FC look particularly like they're struggling. Anthony Solis says 4th and 5th place are together for the playoffs. Yeah, that's true. 4th and 5th place are together for the playoffs. One game I'm confident about is Dallas. Okay. Air Vega is very confident about Dallas, Luis. And Ari Cage says, and when it's time for Dallas, we could keep the difference and keep a good vibe. I hope so. Anthony Solis says, Philly just destroyed NYCFC 5-1 in New York. It's crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. New York struggling and Philly looking good. Ari KJ says, Dallas is inconsistent, but if we have low morale from a previous game, it's going to be a hard game to watch. Yeah, that's the thing, Luis. We're deep in here now talking about Columbus, so let's just move on to that anyway. We've got to, I think it's important that we go into this match and are able to come out with it, keeping our momentum up more than anything. And a draw and a good performance is perfectly acceptable in this scenario. I just don't want to get blown out and kill our confidence. That's the main thing.
No, for sure. I mean, they got to me one of the best strikers in the league, Cucho Hernandez, and he's gonna be coming with a vengeance. Now it says here, this is tough. Look at your face, John. You look like a pup. Like you have to go and take your puppy to the vet.
It's like a real problem, Luis. This is a real problem.
This is a problem that is definitely tough for us because now there's no double pivot. There's no double pivot. So now Pareja is going to have to either say, I'm going to play with Carta as your only number 6, or put Nico instead of Araujo, or Heine.
For those
shine bright.
For those listening, we're talking about the fact that Cesar Araujo in the last match got another yellow, so now he's on yellow card suspension.
Yellow card suspension. He's not going to play.
He's not going to be available for Columbus, so no double pivot. And Heine definitely not. I think it's Kuchevsky's time to shine, bro. We talked about this before when we're in this scenario because we thought it was that other game, but actually it was this game. We were 1 card 2 ahead of our yellow card count on Araujo, and now it really has arrived where he is not available. And it's a real problem. And Felipe, I don't think Felipe has got what we need in the mid to deal with Columbus's mid at all.
Even though Alonso would say that's wrong what we're saying about Felipe, but
I just haven't seen it this year, me too. I think Kuchevsky is the one that Oscar prefers in this scenario now, and Kuchevsky's been playing a lot in OCB and getting a lot of minutes there recently. So
I agree with you.
I would go with him. I don't want to see Nico as like a deep mid. I think
I mean, look, if you put yourself in Oscar's shoes, he's more keen of doing that.
I know
that. You know
he
what I mean?
trusts the
So
veteran players more than he does the youth players. But I would say if you look at like positionally what's required, Kuchevsky has the right assets. Whereas like Nico can run all day, but is Nico going to win that many tackles? Is Nico actually going to be a D mid, or is Nico just going to be an attacking mid that you put further back in the field? Also, Nico tends to drift so wide, and that's going to leave Wilder alone. Like we need someone to support Wilder next to him, like Cesar would, and I just don't know if Felipe or Nico are the right guy to do that. Personally, I think even though it's a big game, I think Kuchevsky's had enough time with us where you could get him in from the start. If it goes horrible, take him out at halftime or something. But I don't think it's going to be that bad.
yeah, I mean, look, I'm with you. I feel like based on, I don't know if you could put Columbus's last lineup. You're going to need legs from the get-go to keep that press that we've seen against Charlotte. So they got that's Toronto. So look, they got Rossi. They got also.
Yeah, last time they rested Cucho
a lot of
for
players.
the first half. So they played Rossi for the first half, then they brought Cucho on for the second half. Russell Rowe had a decent game. He was doing all right. They also brought in the second half, they brought Jackson on. Axel Jackson, he looks very dangerous. And Cucho obviously came on and had a great game. Alexander Matan came off the bench for this one. Yeboah, Molino wasn't in. Sorry, not Molino. Defensive mid Nagby wasn't in there.
Nagby, yeah.
So they've got a lot of assets and they clearly rotated a little bit, knowing that they were going to Toronto. So
yeah, so I feel
they're
like
be fully stacked. I think with all their players, there's not really anybody they're missing right now.
You're gonna need at least until you sub Nico in, because that's what Oscar's gonna do. He's gonna sub Nico in. More than likely, you need somebody that has not only the stamina and the legs to withstand at least 70 minutes, but someone that's going to continuously defend alongside Cartagena, like Araujo would do, and I mean, I'm not trying to criticize Kuchevsky, but I mean, look, if I hope that Oscar is talking to him and telling him that this is the game that's going to maybe turn it around for him if he wants a spot to sometimes even start in the position. When you're a player and you see, hey, they just signed this guy called Heine, right? Why not me? So this is the chance right here. Now, obviously, this is if Oscar decides to put Kuchevsky, because what if he feels Heine is ready? Do you think that he's going to do that?
No. I think Heine is third or fourth on that list right now of potential guys to replace him, and not. I just think you're talking about throwing Kuchevsky in a game that might be out of his depth. Heine, you can't be like, hey, your first ever game, you're going to start against the team that won last year at their house. Like, I just think that's a bad way to,
You think so? You think, but he's a DP,
No, he's not. He's a TAM.
He's an under 22. Yeah, but he's an under 22.
I just think it's a lot. It's very on Oscar.
So you
very
believe,
on Oscar to do that.
Yeah. So you believe you believe you're throwing him into the wolves?
I think it's important when you have a first debut for a player to make sure that it's a positive experience. They're ready. A lot of these things, and Heine hasn't even seen 1 minute on the field yet. If we brought him on for the last 30 minutes or 20 minutes against Charlotte, I'd be like, okay, maybe they're prepping him, they're getting him. But the fact that he hasn't seen a single minute yet, and we've seen reports that his ITC has come through, and Alonso was saying, oh, he's going to be on the bench and like maybe he'll come on, who knows? And he hasn't. So for me, that says that Oscar has got no like there's no rush to get Heine in.
So right now, the other person that could replace Cesar is Kuchevsky.
Yeah, I think Kuchevsky is the top.
I think
Felipe might also be the option. See Felipe in the gym a lot. Maybe Oscar said, look, as soon as one of these guys gets enough yellow card, it's your time, Felipe. I don't know, man.
This guy, he's been in the gym.
He has
been in the gym a lot. There you
go. Jimmy D, I think what you should do. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Read the comment for Jimmy D.
Jimmy D says, I think what you should do is keep the formula and place someone young in Cesar's spot. Don't reinvent the wheel at this point. Yeah, so that would be Kuchevski in this scenario.
I want to see this Kuchevski. This mean mugging. I want to see. I want to see.
You know what I didn't think of as well, Luis, which could happen, is we could see the return of D-mid Kyle Smith from earlier in the year. Remember D-mid Kyle Smith? It could happen. I'm just saying, Oscar, if you're like, hey, I just want a guy who's going to get in there and win the ball back and be just safe and hustle.
Yeah. Kyle Smith.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's probably that. Yeah,
it's either Kuchevski or Kyle Smith.
Just like Jimmy D says,
for the other at some point,
Yeah, just like Jimmy D says, let's not reinvent the wheel. We know how Oscar thinks. Yeah, you're completely right.
Yeah. I'm good with either. I just don't love the idea of playing Nico there. That's my main.
But if we do see Kuchevski, we want to see him, have that edge,
The other question is, Luis, you're gonna keep Enrique, or are you gonna put Duncan in from the start on this one? I mean, I know what I'd like to do, but what's your opinion?
I think he's gonna keep Enrique in there. I don't know if he's gonna put Duncan. You got a back line of what's his name? You had it right here, the lineup for Columbus. I think we're going to see Ramiro. I think we're going to still going to see Duncan in the second half. It's just the way I feel.
I think Enrique was getting like out muscled a lot by Reem and Mandala. I can't remember the guy, the other center back for Charlotte. Whereas here they're not quite as like big center backs, so more like mobile center backs for and maybe that will play better into Enrique's hands. I don't know. I don't think like he's been bad. I just think he's more it's just gone. They're marking him, they're defending him, and he's playing passes around, and the balls are landing to Facu and Ojeda and Angulo to take shots, not necessarily to Enrique. But maybe would you say that's on him, or would you just say it's just not? I can't think like there's been chances that he's been missing, is what I'm saying. It just he hasn't had a lot of chances, I think, recently.
Yeah, I mean, I also want to add one thing we should not do is take Dagger and put it as a D mid. And then I think and then put Kyle Smith as.
That's more wild than putting Kyle Smith.
Well, we've seen that before.
Have we?
I think so. I think
they just got messed up.
I think in the beginning of the season, when everybody was like filing their pitchforks, I think we saw that one of these games.
Yeah. No. Leave Dagger.
I feel we should just leave Dagger right back.
Yeah.
Now
Dagger is no longer a midfielder, Luis. He's now just a right back.
Yeah. You wanna do the lineup?
Yeah, I think we should. We can do the lineup real quick.
Yeah. So, honestly, I think this is going to be the biggest test for the Lions. And I think not having Cesar, it's going to, hopefully not hurt us a lot. I mean, it's definitely a big blow for us because part of our putting down our opponents is Cesar and Wilder, having this great momentum right now. So let me go ahead and share the screen real quick. So
Luis, you said you saw that Sounders game where they beat them 4-0, right?
Yeah.
We should
check it out.
What made Rusnak so effective against them? You got a hat trick in that second half.
Let's put you want to put the look it up on YouTube, and then we can
Maybe.
put it in.
I think they got a red card. I think that's what it is. They got a red card.
No,
and
they got
goal
oh, so there were 10 men
Yeah,
down.
they had a 10
Yeah.
men. That's why it was okay.
Oh,
So that
okay.
makes more sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
still, they scored 4
Yeah.
goals in them in a half with 10 men. So they did a great job.
Look,
but that's
it-
we got to do whatever Seattle did. That's what we
look,
need to do.
if anyone from the club is watching, or if, and maybe even Profe Oscar may be watching, you may want to check out the tape of that Seattle game.
I'm sure they have.
Because, and you also, I feel like you will definitely take him because they're so physical. I feel Columbus is so physical too in the press. You need to match that also. So the way they started pressing against Charlotte at home, that was really good. If you exert that against them, it could shock them, and we could maybe have a couple chances happening of just pure defending and just getting the ball back into transition. So let's so it's gonna be Pedro, obviously, right?
No, Mason.
Let's put Mason in with a wheelchair. No.
Leave Gillette there.
No Brecalo because his thigh injury, we got Schlegel, and like you said, John, hopefully, and again, he's doing a center back camp. I think they probably need a promotional video for it.
Can
Let's
Brecalo
be
play
Columbus.
D-mid?
No, I've only seen him play in Slovenia as a right back.
I'm just messing. I'm just
Oh, no.
What are our other options?
No,
Who
but
else-
he's with
who wants to play D-mid? Put your hand up.
Yeah, so we need
know?
to see the best version of Jensen. We need to see the Jensen of a season ago or 2 seasons ago.
I hope so. I think he's gonna be even more tired though.
Yeah, and then obviously we already, I think for Oscar is Santos, and right here Dagerden Thorhalsen. Now this is gonna be the fun part. So you're telling me, John, that he's gonna put Kyle Smith here?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think he is. Yeah, I think he's
we just got
like this comment
Do
here.
you-
that
Do you
Jimmy
remember?
D says,
Do you remember the game?
without the strong double pivot, Nagby will have free reign in the midfield, and so
Yeah.
that's why you need a strong D mid in there.
Right.
Well, all
No,
of their
I-
attacking mids, really. We just need 2 very good ball-winning players in there that can get in a tackle and break them down. And I think that'll be Kyle Smith for him.
Well, it's just like when was the I mean, I know that Oscar did this before. Do you know what the result was when he used Smith as a D mid? That'll be interesting to see.
I think we might have done it. Oh, what game? I mean, I don't know, man. It was earlier in the season. I know that. I think it was around the time where the beginning of the season, one of them was still injured. If anyone remembers, drop it in the comments. But
I don't know. Yep, I don't remember, honestly. It's been so long. So Ojeda, and then you got Ramiro, Facu, and Angulo. Do you feel Ramiro's going to start? Or do you feel Duncan's going to start? I feel Ramiro's going to start because I feel like with Ramiro too, and Duncan too, but I feel Ramiro is a little faster coming back and getting the ball back.
I found the answer to your question.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, Austin is one of the games that I found when we won 2-0 against Austin at home. He played in the D mid.
And we won against Austin at home.
Yeah, there you go. That was one of them. I think it was around that time he played a few games in that position.
And he's always in the rondo,
Yeah,
so
he played against Red Bulls where we got a draw in D mid. 1-1.
Okay, so in D mid he has a draw and a win.
In those 2 games, I could see. Let's see. And then
okay, so let me see.
DC away, Cesar was back. So it's just those.
Okay, so it's just those 2.
I think so.
All You said it was Austin and
Yeah, the win against Austin.
let me look at his
the draw against Rebels, and then Atlanta away. Did he play there in D-Mid? No.
no.
Yes, he did.
Oh,
Yes, he did as well.
so
When
Atlanta
we
also.
lost 2-0 away at Atlanta, he played in D-Mid. So he's got a win, a loss, and a draw.
A win, a loss, and a draw.
Yep.
Okay, so he's pretty much tied. So let's look at let's look at Kyle Smith as a D mid. Let's look at his heat index right here.
Ooh.
So Kyle Smith has a 7. He's in the green against Austin, 7.0. I'm gonna take a screenshot out of this. That way I can show it to you guys. Let me stop sharing this real quick. So this is his heat index of Kyle Smith against, and this is real analysis, man. I feel like a nerd. This is his heat index against Austin. He had a really good game, actually. I was playing as a D mid.
I mean, Austin were not good.
So so the back line was Dagger, massive game. He had a goal. Rodrigo Schlegel, Robin Jensen, Rafa Santos, same thing.
Yeah.
Now here it was like so it's a weird, like, right winger was Angulo, left wing was Ojeda. Jacqueline and Luis Muriel as your two strikers, and Kyle Smith and Nico Lodero were commanding the actual mid, and Nico had actually a goal. So he's using Nico as for Cartagena's spot more than he uses him for Cesar's spot. So I mean, to me, I think this was a very good game for Kyle. Now his stats, according to SofaScore, he played 90 minutes. He had 89% of accurate passing.
Yeah.
Let me take a screenshot out of that so you guys can see.
He did not. Yeah, he got a 5.9 on FootMob in the Rebels game, so I don't think he played as well.
So I mean, and what did he got against Atlanta? I'm curious.
Against Atlanta, let's see what they ranked him as. Atlanta, we all no one played well in that game, so I don't think he would be ranked highly. He got a 6.5.
That's not bad.
No, it wasn't that bad. So
yeah,
he could do a job there, is what I'll say. He can do a job there.
Yeah, so right there, you got Austin. He needs to play. He needs to play the level he did against Austin FC. So, I mean, look at the accurate passes.
But he's actually played many games, whereas that's his argument over Kuchevsky. Like, Kuchevsky has never started a match.
Correct.
So that's the argument of, and that's such an Oscar. He really looks. Yeah, he looks more at the who am I going to rely on in this scenario, and then it's going to be Kyle over Kuchevsky all day.
Yeah, because he's been part of the first team how long now? He knows the system. He knows, like, look at this. Look at the accurate passing. He played 90 minutes. Look at the accurate passing against Atlanta. Now, we lost, but he clearly was one of the best players in the team.
In that role, you're just asking him to win the ball back and lay off an easy pass, so he doesn't have to be incredible. Passing, he just needs to be able to hustle in the mid.
Right, but that's exactly what we need against Columbus. I mean, I feel like that's what we need. Now, look at the ground duels won, and aerial duels won. That's another. Now look at the possession loss. That's another thing that we need to, because I think that's what we need to focus on too. How many times he lost possession in this game. Now, I feel like Orlando City's mid always loses possession either way, even if it's a great game. I know, and I don't know, but even Cartagena and Araujo. Like, look at the possession lost on here, 9 times. He had eight ground duels, right? 4-1 out of he won 4 out of 8, 2 out of 6 for aerial duels. This is against Atlanta. If so, I mean, I think Oscar. If you think like Oscar, I think he's probably going to pick Kyle. I feel like that. I think he's going to go that route. I don't know. Do you feel that way, or do you think he's going to go Kuchevsky? Because sometimes the unpredictability. The unpredictability. I mean, Columbus. Columbus, if they want to watch film, they're going to watch those games. Too. Is there any film about Kuchevsky unless you go to like the MLS Next and you see that pass that he did in the last game?
What's the argument for Kuchevsky is that he's hungry and like he's shown that he will work hard and that and Oscar likes that about he's got that like dagger work mentality about him. So I think that's it could be him, but I think more likely to be Kyle Smith. You want to put him in the lineup and we'll finish it up?
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and put the lineup back real quick. There you go. So it'll be Galese, Dagerdan, Schlegel, Jensen, Santos, Smith, and Cartagena, and then Ojeda, and then Angulo on the left, Facu on the right, and then Ramiro up top. That'll be the lineup against Columbus.
I think some people might call us crazy for not putting Duncan in after he scored 2 games in a row, but I just think Oscar likes this way around. Like Ramiro gets involved in the play, does the first half, and then Duncan off the bench is such an impact.
Yeah, for sure. Let's read some comments real quick.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. Smith in defense mid might be a good choice just because of ball pressure, but he's slow in the center. He'll do the dirty work. What's his current yellow card count?
I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. Thank you, Anthony. Joshua, let's keep it up and hopefully beat Columbus. Says they're suspended for a game versus Columbus. Yes. Columbus playing typically runs the 3 in the back. This makes him open back for space. Torres and Angulo should be able to run in behind. Seattle also had a 4-2-3-1 lineup against Columbus. Thank you, Anthony. If we make less mistakes on passes and definitions, we should be going in with a good result against Columbus. Looking at their 4 games, they do shoot average more than 10 times per. We do more. There you go. Jimmy D says that Nagby is going to kill us. I'm just kidding. No, thank you guys for your support.
I don't think Kyle Smith has many yellow cards this season at all, really. He hasn't played a huge amount, and he hasn't picked up many, if any, yellows. I think 1 against Austin. He got that red card, which was completely out of the blue, but he hasn't picked up many yellows. So.
Please don't jinx us, John.
Sorry, yeah, my bad. Alrighty, Luis. I feel like that's everything that we were going to talk about today.
Yeah, for sure. I want to thank everyone that has watched. Check this out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Also, we're available in audio form. Also on X at LP_podcast, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Us Loud and Proud Orlando. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. My score prediction. You want your score prediction, John?
Yeah, we should do a score prediction. I'm gonna go a nice 1-1. I'll take a 1-1.
Okay. You're gonna call me crazy.
Oh, you're gonna do something crazy.
3-1 Orlando win.
3-1. We blow out Columbus in their house. We pull a Seattle.
Muriel scores in the second half.
Muriel scores.
The second half.
Wow.
Yep. He flexes. He flexes. He does the Mbappe.
It was like Muriel hat trick. Is that what you're gonna say next?
No, that's too much.
No, that's we draw the line. Okay, so Luis going with a 3-1. That's big. I'm going with 1-1.
Huge, man.
Anthony Solis says 1-1. Eric KJ says 0-0. Or we could strike the 0-1. Anthony Solis says 5-1 Orlando. Let's pull a Philly. Okay, now we're just getting silly. Muriel,
Bro,
question mark on Orlando B, maybe, says Eric KJ. Did you see that pass, Eric KJ?
no, come on, Eric.
JCB
turning
says
it around.
2-0 with San Pedro. Yeah,
There
I
you
mean, I like the 2-0. I think that's nice. Yeah, I just think let's get out of there with a draw, and I'll be
With
happy.
1 or 3 points, yeah.
I'll be run to the hills with a draw
for sure. For sure.
So, I think hopefully let's just see us match up well and have a good game and not look outclassed. I don't want to be embarrassed by Columbus.
Yeah, we don't want to lose like 8-1.
I don't want to damage anybody's ego. Like Muriel just got his confidence up with that assist. We can't be bruising him by losing like 4-1 at Columbus or something.
Right.
No,
we can't.
No, we're not. This is not. I don't want to see a Sporting KC situation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's true. Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching us and for all your support. Stick around for more Loud and Proud Orlando. We're coming back on Monday for more LPO. And as always, guys, vamos Orlando. Right? Vamos Orlando, guys. Have a good one. Thank you.
Vamos Orlando.